All right. Hello and welcome to the Big Esports Conference LAN. We're here. We've got some great Rocket League for you today, and we're going to start with the University of Maryland versus Michigan State University. Now we're going to be getting into this match in the next few minutes. We've been spending a little bit of time setting up our stream, but now that we've got everything working, it is time to get in. We've had a little bit of work go into this, but with everybody here now, hopefully we'll be able to, have a good event. And we are off. With the kickoff, we see Waiters and Opbomb, two that have matched up against each other multiple times before now. Opbomb as well coming in for the demo. Now we see here Waiters coming in. And Opbomb with the goal takes that and makes it 1-0 to Michigan State. And we get in here, Opbomb with the ball, gets challenged there by Waiters, but isn't enough to knock him off. Has the boost as well, tries to knock that into the middle and gets that 50. Disgusting there from Opbomb. You see right there, the spacing is great, and he just gets right into that spot. The challenge coming out there from, I think, Turtle, but it is not enough to get that ball past. Michigan State up 2-0 right here. Hexy pops it high for Waiters. Waiters takes control, tries to get that back to Hexy, but he's not able to put a shot on target. Hexy demoed for his troubles. Knock now has the ball. Doesn't manage to do too much with it. Gives it back off to one of his teammates, who is then challenged high by Hexy. Waiters takes control, but is bumped off the ball. Knock as well bumped. We see that other teammate, Morvu, tries to dribble forward, but is challenged early by Turtle. Turtle, though, doesn't manage to do too much with it. Now Hexy tries to get a slow play over the other teammate, but we see there that Michigan State is patient. Are they patient enough? Hexy with the double tap, but it's not on target. Hexy coming up high off the ceiling, but that ball bounces in an unfortunate path. UMD looking to make something happen, and we see here Waiters. Oh no! Off of the post. Unfortunate. Now Opbomb coming forward, beat one, but doesn't have the space for any more. And we see Turtle and Morvu taking each other off the map. Waiters now playing that very, very slow. Opbomb pops it into another dangerous spot, but Hexy manages to get control. Morvo now with that ball on the sidewall, playing very slow. Waiters coming in, beating him on that speed, but you see the slow plays coming out from Michigan State. And those are dangerous because they've got the lead. All they need to do is run out that clock. Turtle once again finding himself demoed. And Knock up high. We see once again just stopping this ball in the midfield, playing very, very slowly. Now Morvo goes up once again, takes that touch. Turtle retakes control though, passes it out to the side to Hexy, and Waiters goes for the shot, but he's just not able to get a touch on that. Turtle pushes it into the middle, but it's blocked out by Knock. Opbomb takes control, gets the flick over, and Knock puts it in to make it 3-0. great first game here from Michigan State, but it's an unfortunate opening for the University of Maryland. Still, though, 2 minutes left on the clock, and UMD has been known to score goals very quickly. They would want to take one off the kickoff if they want to start this comeback, but unfortunately that quick demo is enough to take them a little bit off. We see there Hexy trying to play Knock, but Knock very, very patient, does not bite, and just retakes control of that ball. Doesn't do too much with it, but he doesn't need to with the time running out, and we see here another demo and another goal there from Knock, 4-0 in the first game. This is not a great spot for UMD to be in. Now, UMD on their way back into this match. 1 minute 30 seconds left on the clock. Hope seemingly somewhat gone, but not entirely so. We see here Hexy goes up high, tries to play it slow, beats one, doesn't manage to beat two. Morveau with the double save. Really good play there from him, and the bump there off the turtle, looking like this is another one. The physical play out from Michigan has been, I mean, kind of ridiculous. I can't even lie to you. And we see there the shot off the side from Michigan, but it's not enough. Once again, we see the ball there. Number 6 comes through. Hexy pops that off onto the side. Opbomb, though, plays it slowly. Doesn't need to do it, and gets a demo on Waiters for his trouble. The physicals out of Michigan State University are not to be underestimated. They've been doing a lot of damage here. And we see there as well the bump from Michigan is enough as Michigan State University takes this first game convincingly 5-0. UMD is going to have to make a very, very strong showing in this second game to make a comeback in this series. And we see there fairly strong play out from Michigan State. We see Opbomb with the hat trick, an assist, a save, a shot. 4 demos out of Opbomb, 3 out of Knock, 2 out of Morveau. A lot of damage coming out physically from Michigan. So we will see if that continues to translate as we get into Game 2 of this series. And we are off. Right off of the starting blocks, we see another quick goal out from Opbomb. Michigan State coming off to an early lead here against UMD, but we see here Waiters comes out, wins that first 50. Big hit there from Turtle, but it's not enough. Hexy pops up, tries to beat, but Morveau has control of that ball, and Opbomb with another goal. This is not a great way to start Game 2. UMD, who would reasonably be looking for some kind of comeback, are in a very bad spot here. Now we see here, Turtle on that kickoff, knocks it over. Knock, though, has control, but ends up giving it over. Hexy with that 50 gives it to Waiters, who tries to flick it. Morveau retakes control, but only takes it as far as Turtle, who pops it out. Now, Waiters trying to slow down that counterattack for Michigan State. Bomb tries to take another shot, tries to get that first-minute hat trick. Would have been very dangerous, but good save there. Waiters, man who made that save, taking that shot, crossbar ping. Unfortunate spot to be in. And now Hexy going up high, air dribble, gets the ball to Waiters, but knock on that back wall. Great defense there. Turtle gets the pop, has control, gets the pass over to Hexy, but Hexy's just not far forward enough. He can't reach it. Retakes control, gets that bounce off the back wall. Hexy takes the shot, but Bomb has to save. Morveau now going up the side wall, goes for the ceiling shot, tries to get that bounce off of the ground, but he does not have the boost to get far forward enough. Now, though, Hexy has control, and we see here this game starting much the same way that the last one did. Early 2-goal lead for Michigan State. UMD will need to turn this around if they want to retake momentum in the series. Here we see Nog passes that ball to Waiters. Hexy gets that bump, but nobody there to follow it up, and Morveau ends up retaking control of the ball anyway. Gets the air dribble over. Hexy gets a save, but it's a very tentative one, and right back down to Bomb to make it 3-0 with 3 minutes left on the clock. Michigan State is handling business. We see here UMD coming in, kickoff, tries to make something happen, and we see there the physical play onto Knock from Waiters. But they still don't have possession again. Waiters, though, does retake, has the ball, but a little bit of a strange interaction there, I think. Morveau controlling in the midfield, and we see there the demo from Knock. Just opens up a free space. Morveau, slowest shot on planet Earth, but it doesn't matter when nobody's home. Hexy comes up off the sidewall, and Morveau retakes control. We see here Turtle sees Waiters trying to move that ball into the midfield, gets a touch. Could have been a shot, but just wasn't fast enough, and it was pretty easily handled by Michigan defense. Now we see Turtle trying to mind game Knock right there. Doesn't bite, though. Knock has been very, very patient, but we see here, first goal of the series from Turtle. UMD may have life. We see there the kickoff. Hexy takes control. Now it's a 2-on-1. Waiters, Hexy moving forward. They don't manage to make too much of it. Morveau retakes control, has that ball. Goes up high, but doesn't go up high enough. UMD retakes control of the ball. Now Turtle trying to get that past. Knock goes up high, as well as Morveau. They both push that ball off of the backboard. Turtle leaves it for Hexy. Hexy, though, he gets a little bit forward. Both players racing to the ball. Knock, though, gets there first, retakes possession. Hexy goes up, tries to challenge, but doesn't manage to get a touch. Waiters trying to make something on offense, but gets challenged fairly early. We see Hexy pushes it off the back wall, but nobody to follow up. And Waiters we see with the shot, but Knock is right there, and he's able to handle it pretty well. Turtle pushes that into the midfield. Hexy tries to get it, but just isn't in the right spot, and he ends up getting cleared out. 1 minute left on the clock with a 3-goal margin. It looks like a bad spot to be in, and it gets a little bit worse as Turtle gets demoed. Hexy has a clear there off of the back line, but doesn't have the boost to get it any further. pushes on anyway. Waiters tries to take that shot off of Hexy's touch in the midfield, but he's just not able to get there. Morvo playing once again very slow. Let's Knock retake control of that ball. Double commit in front of the UMD net. Op bomb goes up high, tries to get the ceiling shot, gets it on target. The crossbar touch. Knock puts the shot out. Hexy, but Hexy puts it out into the middle. Hexy, another save. Still, though, this game looks out of reach for the University of Maryland. Opbomb puts the shot on target, and Knock with another demo. Hexy with the double save earlier, but wasn't there this time, unfortunately. As UMD takes what looks to be a damaging Game 2 loss against Michigan State. Hexy tries to push it back down into that shootable position, but this is just garbage time once again. We see here the physicality for Michigan again, just disrupting rotations, making opportunities. Very, very dangerous spot to be in, but Michigan State has really managed to handle, to do a lot of good work here, and, you know, they deserve some respect for that, of course. Oh, what? Now we see here as UMD and Michigan get into Game 3 of this series. UMD up, Michigan State up 2-0, and we see there's a disconnection from the entirety of the UMD team. Okay. All right, sorry to our spectators. We were just going through a few technical issues, but it looks like we are going to be getting back into this match. Michigan State currently up 2-0 on Maryland. It's been a fairly difficult match for Maryland. They haven't been able to, pick up their rhythm, and it's very difficult to pick up your rhythm, especially when you're in a situation where you're getting demoed very often, which Michigan has been doing in spades. The demos have been ridiculous. A lot of damage has come out of them. And UMD, obviously, will be looking to make something happen this time around so that they're not just constantly having their rhythm shaken up by Michigan State going for whoever's on the goal line. And as we get into game 3 of this series, Knock goes up high off the wall. We see their op bomb back to their normal tricks. Another demo, and we see the double commit there from UMD. No touch though, both players whiffed, and we see the ball fly right in front of the University of Maryland net, and Michigan State once again in that dangerous position. Op bomb has gone for a lot of shots, and we see their Knock with another early goal for Michigan State. Now, getting back to this is not the kind of start that UMD would want to see, coming off of 2 fairly high-scoring games where they haven't been able to get anything going. And now, once again, they find themselves in this spot. Turtle going up high off of the sidewall, tries to get that into the middle, but a little bit of a communication breakdown there. They're not able to get the ball out between each other. Hexy, though, pops that ball high. Turtle retakes control, and we see once again the demos coming out of Michigan State. Op bomb takes Hexy out on the goal line. Morveau going up high, tries to beat Hexy, but Hexy is back, handles business, gets that ball off the side wall to Waiters. Waiters moves it to Turtle. And Rock tries to push that ball past, but Hexy is a brick wall in the defense, and we see there the demo coming out of Turtle. Morveau goes up that sidewall, tries to stop him, ball floating in front of the net, but UMD isn't able to capitalize on it. Waiters coming out, trying to push that into the middle as well. Now Op bomb pushing forward. He's been very, very dangerous on offense this entire series, but he doesn't manage to make anything there. Morveau tries to play that slow out of the back, but now Hexy has control. He's got the ball, he's got time, but he doesn't have boost. You know who does? Turtle goes up, tries to take that, and Waiters puts the shot. Another crossbar ping, but there's a save there out of Michigan State. And another demo there from Op bomb. Hexy goes for the ceiling shot, but isn't able to do it. Morveau with the save. Turtle coming in. UMD putting a lot of pressure on defense, and it's showing the double commit there for Michigan State. Only one man in the back wall. It's Op bomb, but he does manage to get that clearance out. Michigan State resets a bit. Morveau comes out for the 50. Pop off the back wall. Hexy gets the touch, but it's not where it needs to be. Op bomb easily reaches it. Turtle, and we see there Op bomb demoed by Hexy. Little bit of retaliation. Morveau puts that ball right in front of the Michigan State net, but it's not in a spot where a UMD player can make something of it. We see Hexy push that ball down. Waiters manages to pull one out, but it's not enough. Op bomb has control, tries to dribble past Turtle. Turtle has the ball, but he doesn't have the spot that he needs. And now Morveau pushes that ball up high off of the UMD back wall. The crossbar ping now strikes for UMD against Michigan State. We see here Hexy, ooh, good dunk there, right in front of the net, but Op bomb is in position to make a save right there and push that ball forward. Morveau beats one, tries to mind game Turtle, no boost, but it's not enough. He's a little bit too smart defensively. Morveau demos Turtle, and Turtle demos Morveau right back. Morveau, though, is back. to take that shot, and we see there Waiters getting the aerial demo onto Opbomb, but it's not enough. It's not disrupting their rotations, and we see here Hexy goes up high, pushes that ball, popped right in front of the net. Hexy, no, tries to get the double tap, but it's not. He's not able to put it on target. And we see there Waiters takes control of that ball, gets it away from Opbomb before Opbomb gets him away from the field, unfortunately. Morveau, once again, Michigan State playing slow. They don't particularly have any urgency to push that ball into the net, but that's a dangerous spot to be in because this is a 1-goal lead that they're trying to protect here. Knock has control of that ball, going for the flick, tries to fake out Waiters, but Waiters just full commits and he gets his hands on that ball. 45 seconds left on the clock. Morveau pushing forward. Gets that ball into the middle. Goes for the bump onto Turtle, but Turtle is wise to his tricks. Hexy, though, not so lucky. Gets taken out. Opbomb with another demo. Turtle gets that 50 there. Beautiful, but it goes up very high. High enough for Opbomb to deal with. Now, Waiters pulling back, trying to slow play this. Doesn't get a good touch, unfortunately. Now, Turtle in a dangerous spot. And Hexy moving forward, 10 seconds left on the clock. UMD need to make something happen right now. Waiters comes up off of that sidewall, but gets challenged by Morveau. Morveau playing slow. Hexy with boost, with time. This is the last chance. UMD isn't able to make something happen, and Michigan State takes the series 3-0. Unfortunate for UMD, and dominant play there from Michigan State. Really good from them. You know, they just managed to come out. The demos just to disrupt the defensive rotations of UMD. You know, it just wasn't enough. UMD just did not have enough to come out victorious in that series, and well, Michigan came out the winner. Regardless of that, we're going to have some great matches for you leading on after this. Hello and welcome back to the Big Esports Conference LAN. I am your host, Buka from the University of Maryland, and we are going to be getting right back into these matches with the University of Maryland versus the University of Minnesota. Now, this looks to be a fairly great match between these two teams, both of them, unfortunately, coming off of losses against Michigan State, who haven't dropped a game yet in this event. They've been playing very, very well, and UMD and Minnesota are going to be playing to see who will take second in this round robin. So, fairly important match. And now, as we get into this game, we've got Minnesota in the blue, actually, against UMD in the orange. All right, as we get back into this, UMD and Minnesota still in game one. UMD up 3-2 on Minnesota. We see there Hexy goes up high, tries to push that ball into the middle, bounces it off the back wall. Waiters gets that touch, a shot, but it's easily savable. CFN tries to retake control, but whiffs there on the touch. Gives control back to Hexy, who tries to move that into a dangerous spot. 1 minute left on the clock. CFN bounces that ball off the sidewall, gets it to Brad. Waiters there, just kind of waiting in the midfield. Brad there with the demo, another one. You see, unfortunate Turtle though going forward. Gets that ball up, but only gets as far as CFN. Now, Waiters with that ball, pops it up high onto Brad on the sidewall. And we see Hexy try to take control there as well. Turtle, oh, beautiful right there. Beautiful, beautiful redirect there from Hexy. We see Turtle pop that up off the sidewall, and we see Hexy just get that great touch right there over the head of the Minnesota defender. Nothing that he could do right there, and Hexy makes it 4-2 here against Minnesota. And we see there the lead goes even further. Turtle, beautiful right there. We see straight off the kickoff, Waiters knocks that into the back corner, and then Turtle gets the demo, sees the net is open, piles on the pain. 5-2 right now for the University of Maryland. This game looks pretty sealed up. There, bounce off the sidewall, shot there from Brad, but it's not enough sauce on that one. Turtle pushes it up off the sidewall. Pyjin tries to make a play on it, but it looks like this one is going to go to UMD by a wide margin. Very good play out there. And now we get into game 2 of this series. UMD coming off of a strong game 1. 5-2 win over Minnesota, but it looks like Minnesota might want to try and make their way back here. Where's Hexy? Now we see here, early bump. CFN takes control of the ball, has it, but doesn't manage to go too far with it. Only gets about as far as Turtle, who takes control right there. Now, Waiters. Pai Jinwoo takes that ball, pops it, pinches it into the side wall, into the other corner. Hexy now retakes control, moving forward, tries to get up, but doesn't have enough boost and isn't there fast enough. Has the boost now, tries to retake control, but no longer has the time. Takes a bad bump there from Brad and is moved out of the way. Only, though, as far as Waiters, the ball is retaken, but the open net left. Unfortunate. UMD mostly just committing up high. We see Turtle up here, and we also see Hexy right behind him. Nobody home when Brad saw that ball and just decided to hit it as hard as he could. Minnesota with an early lead in this game, but we know that that can change at a moment's notice, and CFN would like to make it even bigger. We see there goes for a flip reset, doesn't manage to get it. Pai Jinwoo tries to follow up, but doesn't manage to make anything of it. Waiters trying to play that slowly. Rad, though, challenges him early. And Pai Jinwoo with the follow-up. CFN as well pushing forward. Minnesota trying to keep that pressure on and, you know, build on from their first goal, but UMD will not take it lying down. We see the pass down there from Hexy to Waiters, almost on, but not on target. Rad pops it up high, tries to get it up there for a teammate, but the teammate does not bite. Nope. Oh! You know what? Let me stop talking. We see there the high pop. Waiters gets that touch, but it's not enough to move it out of a dangerous position, and Pai Jinwoo immediately bites. We saw Hexy pre-jump a little bit, and it unfortunately came back to bite him there. 2-0, but now Turtle almost right there off of the dead 50 on the kickoff, but manages to put it just slightly wide. Still though, UMD has possession and they have time. We see the shot there, beautiful play there. Hexy and Waiters handling business right here. Pop there down to Waiters and Hexy right into that top corner. Exactly what you want to see. Now we see Hexy go again for that kickoff. Gets the second 50 as well. Pushes that ball down. Waiters underneath. Pai Jinwoo sees Waiters and pops that just out of position. UMD still down 1 point, but with 3 minutes left on the clock, this game has a lot left to say, and it says it first by getting rid of Waiters. We see Pai Jinwoo try to push that ball into the net, but it's not enough there. UMD now pushing forward, trying to make up this difference. Turtle pops it high over that net. Another player, Hexy, coming through, trying to shoot. Waiters demoed again. Why do they keep doing this to my boy? Turtle, unfortunately, becomes another victim as Pai Jinwoo takes this opportunity, makes it 3-1 for Minnesota. We see there the demo from Brad. Minnesota getting very physical with it. And now getting back into it, 3-1 with 2:40 left on the clock. UMD would like to make something happen, and they're going to start with Waiters moving forward. Getting harassed a little bit by Pai Jinwoo, but not enough to not get that flip reset. Bounce off the back wall, but it's not in a good enough spot to take a spot. And we see UMD not in a great position defensively, but UMN isn't in a great position to punish them for it. As we see Hexy race back for this challenge, gets the pop on Rad. Knocks it up high off that back wall. Pai Jinwoo with that take in the midfield, and Turtle comes in, takes control. Minnesota is still laying it on very thick, but we don't see those demos or those bumps. We see one right there from Hexy. Unfortunately, the camera swapped right when it happened. And now Waiters taking control. They're with Turtle, leaves it to Turtle. Waiters retakes control. The two of them trying to interplay. They get the 2v1, but unfortunately CFN has the patience He does not have the flick, though, and he gives back possession of that ball straight to the UMD defenders, who are going to obviously attempt some offense. We see Turtle fakes one. Oh, almost fakes one. CFN, really good play there. Really, really good 50. Waiters takes control. Now Turtle, caught in a bad spot on that side wall, is forced to kind of retreat. Hexy trying to make a slow little solo play, but he doesn't manage to get it past the Minnesota defender. Rad retakes that ball, pushes it forward, but not particularly dangerous. Turtle clears it out fairly easily. We see that push into the other corner. CFN pushed past, and UMD, Turtle attempts a slow play, but he's immediately challenged by Rad. He doesn't have the time. Hexy pops that off the side wall, forward to Turtle, but Turtle can't get the redirect on it. Hexy, though, retakes possession, immediately demoed. We see the physical again, and Turtle, unfortunately, Waiters this time gets away. Hexy tries to get that touch. Wait, I read that incorrectly. That was Waiters trying to get that touch off that side wall. Hexy follows up afterwards. Now Waiters with the ball, 3-1, 15 seconds left on the clock. But this is exactly what UMD is looking for. This game is not over yet as Hexy rolls that one in. We see here Turtle moving forward. I don't think that he gets the bump, but it doesn't matter. What he needed was the interruption there on defense, and he got exactly what he wanted. Now, UMD, 15 seconds left to find a goal to send this one to overtime. Unfortunately, this kickoff is going to allow them to waste a lot of time off that clock. 6 seconds off. Rad. And now 6 seconds left on the clock. Pai Jinwoo trying to push that to the side wall. UMD has a little bit of boost. They have the ball, but they don't have it anymore. Rad with the big challenge makes this game 3-2 for the University of Minnesota. And we see now, as we get into Game 3, Minnesota coming off of a strong win there against the University of Maryland, taking that one 3-2. They will soon end up in a fairly, well, interesting position, to say the least. We see here Turtle moving fairly slowly, tries to play that out of the back, but gets challenged quickly by Jinwoo. We see there the demo onto CFN from Turtle as well. Waiters moving forward, trying to make something happen. And he doesn't manage it. Now CFN moving forward, trying to make something happen. Also doesn't manage it, but, you know, has a little bit of flair in trying. Turtle, though, retakes possession, has the ball, has a little bit of time, but no boost to make anything happen. CFN challenges early. We see here infield passing play between Rad and CFN, the double touch off the back wall, but it's not enough. Hexy on the defense handles that beautifully. Now, UMD trying to poke out of this Minnesota offense, but it's a dangerous game to play. Minnesota is really, really putting it on, and we see here Pai Jinwoo, full boost, tries to make something happen, gets that ball to CFN, but we see two players commit to trying to make that save, Waiter and Hexy. UMD still not in a great position, but Rad ends up giving away a little bit of that offensive pressure, and UMD are now out of their own half. They have the boost, they have the shot. Waiters with the crossbar. Now, we've got Turtle, goes forward, attempts a flick, but doesn't manage to get it past anybody. Pai Jinwoo unfortunately handles that fairly well. And Waiters retakes control, pops that ball to Turtle. Turtle, now with the ball, goes to CFN. CFN knocks that over sideways. Hexy gets that challenge in the midfield, pushing it into Minnesota territory. And Rad wants to mount an attack, attempts something, but doesn't manage to get it too far past. Hexy goes forward, attempts a challenge. We've got boost again. And Rad, I didn't even realize, is that a lawnmower? That is a lawnmower. Regardless, Pai Jinwoo pops that up off the ceiling. Waiters tries to take that shot. Halftime in this game, and it's still even. Turtle tries to make a change, but unfortunately, it's not strong enough to make its way past Pai Jinwoo. We see here, Hexy goes up, solo, beats one, goes for the dunk, beautiful play. We see here, great pop, Pai Jinwoo is just not in a great spot to follow it up, and we see, places himself behind the ball, just leaves it alone, knows that he's gonna come in for that challenge, and the dunk is just gonna come straight off. Really, really great play there from Hexy to break this deadlock, 1-0 to UMD. Ooh, and the bump! Hexy tries to make some noise on that Minnesota touchline. But it's not enough to secure a second goal. Oh, not a great touch there. We see the pop right in front of the UMD net, but it's not enough to make for a goal. And we see there a demo onto Pai Jinwoo. CFN comes in, tries to challenge UMD on the ball, but they don't manage it. Hexy pops it up high. Waiters and Turtle trying to, and they both go up, and well, they didn't both get a touch on it. I think that one was, the actual touch was mostly Turtle, but we see there, CFN goes up early, and we see the backflip, unfortunately, from, I think that is Pai Jinwoo. I think that was a failed fast aerial right there. Unfortunate for him, but we do see as we move forward, Pai Jinwoo trying to make some noise on the UMD defensive line. And CFN going for that demo onto Turtle, unfortunately. But it's not enough to make anything specific happen. Turtle gets that pop up high. Hexy drops it down, tries to leave it for Turtle, but not too much happens. Now, Waiters retakes control. And unfortunate touch there right in front of the UMD net. This is not a great spot to be in for the University of Maryland. But they do still have the advantage. We see there just an unfortunate touch from Waiters. Tries to get that clearance, but doesn't manage to get it out far enough. And the ball is just an easy spot to be tucked in. Now, though, this is the game decider. Turtle moving forward, 1-goal lead. If UMD can burn these last 10 seconds and get that ball on the ground, this game is theirs. 2, 1. Brad drops it down. Pai Jinwoo pops it back up. CFN pushes it over to a teammate. Rad still keeping it up. CFN once again keeping it up. Waiters going up high. Seemingly tries to knock it down and tries to move it maybe to Turtle to shoot. But nothing ends up coming out of it. We still got control of the ball. Pai Jinwoo going up very high. Out of boost, though, CFN doesn't manage to get the pop, and the University of Maryland takes Game 3 of this series. And as we make our way into Game 4, the University of Maryland has a 2-1 lead in the series after a close one-goal lead, or sorry, a one-goal deficit in the last match. Now, though, we see Minnesota, will they be able to do anything in this fight for the series? UMD on match point. Now we see here Pai Jinwoo up on that side wall, tries to make something happen, but he doesn't manage to get it too far. Hexy going for that redirect, tries to get the double touch, but doesn't have the boost. Waiters goes for that early challenge, but he doesn't make too much happen right there. And we see now, ooh, beautiful play right there. Hexy with the bump, Turtle comes in to handle business, and it's just a good spot all around. Gets that positioning, or gets that shot positioning perfectly great. And Rad is just nowhere near close enough to make a save on that. And we see here CFN puts one away as well. Great shot right there. Really close angle there, and Hexy just, I don't think he really even expected that to be on target. Really, really great shot there from CFN, actually. And now we see, unfortunately, a little bit of sleepy defending from Minnesota. But UMD is not able to capitalize on that. Rad comes forward, tries to make something happen. Pai Jinwoo as well, but only gets it as far as Waiters, who now has control of the ball, pushes it down, and we see there, ooh! Very, very good play there. I think demo onto CFN, but it was not enough. Good demo, good shot. It's a fairly, good rotation of events, but UMD is not able to capitalize there. Really, really good save there out of the University of Minnesota. And now Turtle, oh God, Rad handling business on the Minnesota goal line. You shall not pass. CFN though, coming through. Attempts to 50, unfortunately doesn't get too much on it. Gets the ball back to Rad, though, who does have a lot of boost. Does not have the time for all of that, though, as Turtle comes in for an early challenge. We see Hexy try to push that into the middle, possibly for Waiters, but Waiters was not full committing to the offense there. And now that ball floats over the middle, brought by Waiters, but nobody there to follow up. Unfortunate position to be in. Turtle now coming up off that side wall. Didn't have full control and just kind of loses a little bit the spot there, and we see the shot bounces up high off the back wall. It's a dangerous place for a ball to be, and any player in this lobby could put something in like that, but we see there that the shot afterwards is not on target. CFN tries to push that ball into a more dangerous position, but he doesn't manage to get it too far. Hexy Beautiful dead stop there. Manages to beat one of the U Minnesota players, but it is not enough to get it into that net. Brad as well, trying to get that infield pass to CFN, and he does. Great play right there. Minnesota looking to hold this lead for the next 2 minutes to make their way to Game 5 of this series. UMD looking to finish it here, and they can with just 2 goals. Now we see Waiters put that up high off the back ball. Waiters retaking control, gets that challenge, manages to beat 2 off of it, gets the flick too. Rad, beautiful save there. And Hexy has control of that ball, but doesn't manage to go particularly far with it. Only gets as far as Rad, who's got the lawnmower and is trying to cut this field to pieces, but it doesn't go too far. Waiters retakes control, tries to push that into the Minnesota net. The Minnesota defenders, however, manage to race their way back, and they demo him for his troubles. Unfortunate. They're always going after my boy Waiters. 1 minute left on the clock, and it's going to be even more difficult for the University of Maryland as Minnesota makes it a 2-goal difference in this game. One minute to score 2 goals. The University of Maryland might be able to make something of this, but it would take some fairly good play. And we see here Waiters trying to make that kind of play, but we see the early demo there. Ball just bouncing into the UMD net. Minnesota seemingly running away with this game. Brad there gets that touch, and the demo right onto the last man on UMD just completely takes it out of the play, even though that ball was moving so slowly. It's an unfortunate spot to be in. And another demo there onto Turtle. We see here Rad coming up off the sidewall trying to make something happen, but honestly, he doesn't really need it. Minnesota came into this game trying to make a statement, and if we're being honest, they have. Minnesota takes Game 4, sending this series to a decisive Game 5. And we see here as the University of Maryland College Park and the University of Minnesota make their way into a deciding Game 5. We see here Rad tries to play that slowly, but is immediately demoed. Waiters handling business and getting a little bit of revenge coming through now. Hexy popping that ball up high, trying to dribble it, and we get that touch right into the Minnesota net, but it is not enough. UMD retakes control of the situation. Now, we see Hexy going up high off of that sidewall, trying to push that into the middle, into a dangerous spot, but it's not dangerous enough for another UMD player to follow up on it. We see Turtle trying to play that a little bit slowly, and Hexy as well trying to 50 that. Still though, Minnesota has full possession, and we see one-on-one, but it's not really. We see the demo coming in from right behind, and Hexy going up, gets that bounce off the back wall, triple commit on the save from Minnesota, but they managed to make their way out, and Rad now has possession of the ball. Not for long though. CFN retakes control after that attempted push forward by UMD. Turtle now has that ball, has a little bit of time, bounces it off the back wall, but not far enough that Rad cannot reach it. We see another demo, CFN gone, but it doesn't matter. Rad with that 50 puts that ball in the net for Minnesota. One goal on the board with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. And we actually hear there the crossbar, or the post actually. I mean, I don't think that post ping is as interesting a term. Regardless, we hear there the crossbar ping from Minnesota. And now CFN trying to make something happen, but flips a little bit too early, I think. Doesn't manage to get the touch that he wants, and ends up giving back position to the University of Maryland. Now Hexy with a lot of time and a lot of boost, but he doesn't take control. He ends up just attempting a clearance. It doesn't end up going too far though. Now though, with boost and a little bit of touch, well, Turtle unfortunately demoed there, shutting off UMD's attack. And now we see Waiters and Turtle. Turtle with another demo, taking out another Minnesota player. And we see there the shot, not a, oh, and the crossbar. Unfortunate spot to be in. It's you never want to see a shot like that go. And we see here Turtle gets that pop up off the sidewall. Hexy tries to take possession but doesn't manage it. Turtle there in a just kind of 50 relationship with Pi. Pi ends up knocking it out and gets that big clearance as well. Waiters now retaking possession after that clearance, gets the ball to Turtle. Turtle 50s back to Pi, who retakes control, starts right under the ball, gets it over Hexy, but doesn't get himself over Hexy, unfortunately. Gets bumped into space. A minute 30 left on the clock with a 1-goal difference. This match still has a lot of life left in it. And Pai Jinwoo pops it backwards to his teammate CFN, but it might not be a great spot. We see CFN unfortunately whiff. Waiters goes up high, tries something, but doesn't have enough boost to make it happen. He doesn't have the capacity. CFN comes around, tries to make a touch there, tries to attempt to save. And now we see Turtle gets that, I think he got a flip off the ball there, but it wasn't in a spot where he could even conceivably shoot it. We do see Waiters, though, attempting to shoot it. Doesn't manage it, but does have control of the ball, has a little bit of time. He's going to get challenged, but not in such a way that a UMD player can't retake possession, and one does. We see Turtle there first. Now Hexy has the ball, takes that boost. Minnesota not completely starved, but not in a great spot, and we see a demo. Minnesota completely starved, nobody on hand to take that shot. The ball sitting right in front of the Minnesota net, and UMD still has to handle some business. Hexy going forward. Beautiful play there. Another dunk from Hexy. And UMD's hour of need puts this game tied with 20 seconds left on the clock. Now we see Turtle with the kickoff. Ball moving forward. Hexy going in for the challenge. Turtle has the time, has the ball, beats one. Gets the reset, doesn't manage to get the shot off. Hexy tries to push that in. We see Waiters takes the shot, another save out of Rad. And Turtle has the time, all three commit, and Turtle puts it in with 0 seconds left on the clock. UMD takes the series. And we'll be getting into another match. This one is now an elimination match. Once again between Minnesota and the University of Maryland. Last few matches were just seeding. This one is for keeps, and we see here that UMD starts it strong, pushing forward into into Minnesota's defensive positions. Hexy going for the demo, but manages to interrupt him badly enough that Waiters gets that easy tap in on the other side of the goal. Good play right there from the University of Maryland. Here we go. Pai Jinwoo knocks that ball up high off the back wall. CFN retains control, tries to push that out into UMD, and we see there the bump there into the stolen boost from CFN. Hexy now caught out of position off of that. Brad pops it high. CFN tries to make something of it, but it's not enough. And now, easy open net here for Turtle. We see that Minnesota just overcommits a bit. All three are up in that, that front left corner, and there's just nobody home when Turtle manages to break out of the press that they're putting on. In a situation like that, a goal is easy to score. Although not trivial, Everybody knows an open net's the hardest thing to do in this game. Second hardest thing to do in this game. Get demo. Turtle unfortunately has done it. We see here little bit of a possible miscommunication from UMD, but it's alright. Hexy retakes control, pushes that ball up in front of the Minnesota net. Nobody with the boost or the spacing to get the touch on it. Well, the boost and the spacing. That being said, we do see another demo here onto CFN, but it doesn't matter. Pai Jinwoo manages to just push that ball in. Let's see that again. Hexy comes up off that side wall, tries to flick it over, and he gets challenged early by, I think, both Rad and Pai Jinwoo. But it's not enough. Here we see Rad pushing forward, not fast enough, only gets it a little bit. We see here now, Hexy tries to take control of the ball. Doesn't manage to make anything of it. Turtle now has that ball, pops it into that corner, retakes control, tries to get up there, but doesn't manage it. Brad going up high, and we see Turtle has that ball, gets that beautiful save. Waiters now retaking control, moving forward. He gets the demo, actually. I thought he got demo. Brad out of the play for a few seconds. Enough time for Turtle to get forward and try and make some noise in that left corner of Minnesota's defense. We see that ball bounce off the sidewall, and Brad immediately demoed. Beautiful play there from the University of Maryland. We see there, Waiters gets that tap. He sees that Rad hasn't reacted fast enough. He just moves in, gets rid of him the moment that he sees the chance, and Turtle tucks that ball in. Easy shot. We see here, though, now Minnesota attempts the fake kickoff, does not manage to keep possession of it, though. CFN sends that ball straight to Waiters. Waiters sends that ball to Hexy. Hexy gives it back to CFN. It's the circle of life. Rad moves it around. Now, though, Hexy tries to play it slow, but is not fast enough. CFN decides that he should not be on the field anymore. You know, personally, I disagree, but that's just how it is. We see here now, TFN popping that ball up high, off the back wall. Hexy trying to make something happen. Turtle as well. Going forward, playing that into the center. Nobody there to punish. Still, though, UMD up 3-1, and we see Turtle try the slow play. Goes for the flip reset, gets the reset, but doesn't manage to put that ball in. Rad gets the save, and now has possession. Waiters, though, with the defensive stop in the midfield. Has the ball, doesn't have the boost. That job is now Turtle's. Turtle, though, gets beaten to it, and now Hexy has to take control. Moving forward, has a little bit of time, but not enough to beat that challenge off of Rad. Waiters make sure that the 50 does not go straight into the UMD net. And Rad, we see right here, we see the challenge there. Pai Jinwoo makes that challenge off of Waiters in the corner, and Rad is right there to take advantage. Turtle now pushing forward. CFN tries, I think, fails the fast aerial right there. Rad going forward does. Not on target. Not on target. I wish it was on target. I can't be biased. That being said, you know who can? Waiters. Waiters loves his teammates, and we'll see right here how much he does. Tries to push that ball through. Doesn't manage to get it, and we see there attempted demo from Pai Jinwoo. Ooh, beautiful save there. UMD right on the goal line, puts it out. They see the demo coming, and they just manage to both evade the demo and get that save. The University of Maryland takes game 1 in this series. Beautiful goal line stand. And now, as we see Minnesota and the University of Maryland get into this second game, UMD up 1 after that heroic goal line stand in game 1. A lot of work to do and a lot of business to handle, and we see Turtle attempts a little bit of it. Tries to get that bump on Pai Jinwoo, but he stands firm. Waiters moving forward. Demo there, though, onto CFN. Turtle handling business there, getting a little bit physical with it. I guess you could call him a snapping turtle. We see here, though, Turtle regains possession, pops up high, goes for the flip reset, tries to get it under Pai Jinwoo, but Pai Jinwoo is right there, ready to handle business. We see now Waiters has control. Gets that ball forward. Hexy, though, has the ball. Turtle has a little bit of time, but not enough. Tries to get the 50 there, but does not manage it. And we see here now that Hexy, though he has time, does not have the boost to get that ball past CFN. as UMD continues to try and make something happen. Rad pushes the ball high. Waiters though manages to get a little bit of a dead 50 there, but nothing. Turtle just floats that ball into the Minnesota net. Yeah, we see there the 50 from Pai Jinwoo, and there's just nobody home to deal with it. Rad a little bit the closest, but not close enough to make a touch. Now, here, we see Waiters pushing forward, trying to make something happen. Turtle has control, moves that ball over to Waiters in the midfield. Turtle retakes control. Hexy now in the back has to make that save. Retakes the ball, has the 100 boost though. Gets challenged early, double demo there in the midfield between Turtle and Brad. Hexy. Ooh, beautiful right there. Beautiful, beautiful play. We see Hexy pop that off the side wall. We've got the redirect onto the back wall. And Waiters is just right there. CFN is not fast enough. Beautiful passing play between the two. We see there, dead 50 kickoff. Pai Jinwoo goes up off the side wall, tries to make a little bit of noise, but it's not loud enough to wake up Waiters, who now has possession of that ball and a little bit of boost, but leaves it for Hexy. Hexy attempts a solo play. Well, looks like he was trying to get it to a teammate, but doesn't manage to do so. Waiters has the ball. Turtle with the demo on the goal line, but there were two players there, and now we see Hexy goes for the shot. Beautiful play there. We see Turtle, the demo, disrupting their rotations a little bit. They had two on the goal line. Now it's just one. Waiters pops that into the middle, and Hexy is right there on the exact same page. Pushes that into the net to make it 3-0 for the University of Maryland with 2:20 left on the clock. Now, Pai Jinwoo tries to pop that. Pops it over Waiters, unfortunately, but Hexy is there to make little of the defensive mishap right there. Pai Jinwoo now has the ball popped high. Turtle demoed, unfortunately, by Rad, but it's not enough to clear that goal line. UMD's defense stands strong. How strong? Strong enough. Hexy gets that 50. Once again, ball up high off the backboard. Rad there in a spot to shoot, but he doesn't go for it. Crossbar ping for CFN, and UMD defends the onslaught. Rad now going up high off of that back wall. Pai Jinwoo tries to knock that out of the way. Goes up for the air dribble, but does not manage to get it past Waiters. A minute 20 left on the clock. Minnesota's looking to be in a difficult position to get out of. And now Hexy playing out of that back wall. We see the bump coming in from Pai Jinwoo, and Pai Jinwoo once again trying to make a little bit of a mess there as Rad scores. We see here CFN pops that off the sidewall, a bump onto CFN. Pai Jinwoo got the bump onto Waiters originally and just kind of stayed in the middle of the UMD net trying to disrupt any kind of defensive actions, and they do manage it. Minnesota is still in a bit of a hole, but I mean, if you want to dig your way out of a hole, that's the first thing you need to do. Now though, 50 seconds left on the clock. The University of Maryland attempts an attack, but gets foiled. We see here though, Hexy, I think, makes a little bit of a mistake. Ball popped high though, easy for Turtle to intercept and take control of. CFN comes in, tries to challenge on the goal line and make a little bit of noise, but it's not enough. Waiters and Hexy do. Oh! And those are the kind of spots that you don't want to get caught in. We see the double commit there from both Waiters and Hexy. Rad ends up getting a little bit of a dunk, wins the 50, and then Pai Jinwoo was there to immediately put it in. Nobody left in the net. Just a little bit of an overcommit for the University of Maryland, but it's made what seemed like a, you know, a little bit of a just run the ball in situation, turns it into a very, very dangerous spot. UMD now in a 1-goal scenario. 7. 5 seconds left on the clock. Rad pushing forward, trying to make something happen. Bounce off the back wall. Pai Jinwoo tries to make some noise, but he doesn't manage to make any, as Turtle does not let that ball fall. But Hexy does. The University of Maryland takes game 2 in the series, making it 2-0. A very big contrast to the match that just happened. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a delay as one of the players is trying to handle something, but we'll get right back to you once that is up. And now we'll be making our way into game 3 with the University of Maryland up 2-0 on Minnesota. Hexy pushing forward. Has that ball popped up high, but not high enough to get it out of that situation. Brad pushing forward as well. Hexy tries to get that redirect, but doesn't manage to get it to anybody. Now has that ball. Goes for the 50, but ends up leaving it back to Waiters, who attempts to push that ball out of their half and gets challenged early. Gets a little bit of revenge for his troubles. You know, early 50s are a little bit frustrating, but we do see here Turtle trying to retake control, retake possession, push that ball to Hexy, who will himself try to push it into the midfield, and we see it popped high over the net. Beautiful toss by Waiters, and clean put away by Hexy to make this 1-0. Now you see here, early hit, the kickoff and the bounce off the back wall, whiffed by Rad, and Turtle just puts that away. We see here Hexy just big hit onto the back wall, Brad goes up, tries to get the back wall clearance, routine situation, but he just whiffs and gives that shot away. Easy one for Turtle to put away. He's put away thousands like that. Oh, probably tens of thousands. Regardless, we see here another dangerous back wall bounce, but this one does not end up amounting to anything. As UMD pushes out of their half, Hexy acting like he's going for the ball, but fakes, takes the boost, trying to starve Minnesota out a little bit. But not too much. Pai Jinwoo still with a lot of boost, but not in a great position to make a touch on the ball. Hexy! Great spot. We see the great shot right there. We see that pass in there from Turtle, pinch on the sidewall. Hexy goes in, another dunk. And nobody there is capable of making anything happen against that. Great play from the University of Maryland, up 3-0 in the first 2 minutes of this game. They look like they're going to put this one away quickly, and they make it 4, stack on the pain. UMD moving absolutely ridiculous. After that first series that went all the way to game 5, 0 second, they do not care. They are putting this one away. But it takes a little bit more time to put this one away. We've got CFN going up high, off of that back wall, tries to make a little bit of noise, but does not do much. We've got Pai Jinwoo coming in off of that side. Has a time, but no boost. Hexy coming in, trying to make a little bit of noise, but gets bumped as well. Pai Jinwoo now has the 100 boost, but gets demoed for his troubles. Unfortunate for him, and Rad as well goes. We see now Waiters trying to play very slow, play off of the disrupted rotations from the 2 recent demos. And now Hexy pops that ball up high. Turtle gets in clear, gets the ball off of the back wall, and another demo there. CFN is also gone. We see now Waiters pushes that ball off of the ground. CFN gets the clearance, obviously, but it doesn't go to his teammate. Oh, and we see the attempted demo from Minnesota, and a good save. Gets that ball out of danger. Really, really good instincts from Hexy. Sees that the demo is coming, but does not jump because he knows that it will slow him down, and he needs to get there. Manages to get there just in the nick of time, gets the tap, and now we see the shot up high. Hexy has the ball, but does not manage to put it in. Turtle, though, does, sealing up a hat trick. The University of Maryland up 5-0 on Minnesota. Minnesota looking like they honestly just weren't ready for this second series, and we see there the crossbar ping that almost makes it 6. Rad as well Waiters tries to make it 6, but Rad is there to stop him on that second shot. 5-1, unfortunately. CFN takes that shot right there. We see the unfortunate touch, bad touch there from Waiters, and CFN is all over that. Minnesota is still in a fairly dangerous position. We need 4 goals in the next minute 20 just to make overtime. And we, oh no, that's not... You never like to see things like that. Just a miscalculation there from CFN. Just drives past the ball, and we're in Brazil territory. And we see there, pops high off the back wall. Hexy takes the shot. On goal, but not in. Pai Jinwoo gets the demo there onto Waiters, unfortunately. He is the punching bag. Turtle, close but no cigar, doesn't go for the shot. Waiters comes up as well, has the ball, has a little bit of boost, has a flip, but UMD leaves an open net, and Pai Jinwoo puts it away, eliminating any chance of that Brazil. Unfortunately, it could still do a Barcelona, but like. Still, though, UMD has pretty emphatically put this one away, unless something ridiculous happens. Casters are incapable of cursing things. Turtle going up high, has that ball. Hexy as well comes in and puts that one away. University of Maryland up 7-2 on Minnesota. At this point, it's just garbage time. UMD taking the victory lap. And now we see here, Turtle has possession of the ball, gets the flip, gets it under, and they do get the Barcelona 8-2. Maryland just piling on the pain here for Minnesota. With 20 seconds left on the clock, I mean, Minnesota trying some stuff, but not really coming off. We see Pai Jinwoo taking out a little bit of that aggression on Turtle, but this far, I don't really think it matters. The University of Maryland advances to the finals against Michigan State with an 8-2 demolition of Minnesota. Now, as for those finals, they will be streamed tomorrow by the Big Esports Conference. But for today, this is Buka from the University of Maryland signing out.